Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the English class. Today we are going to learn a very interesting story. Chapter 3 Taro's Reward. Chapter 3 Taro's Reward. From the text Honeysuckle. It is a Japanese folk tale. It is a Japanese folk tale. Folk tale means a traditional story that people of a particular region or group repeat among themselves through speech over many years. Folktale means a traditional story that people of a particular region or group that repeat among themselves through speech over many years. Before starting the story, I would like to ask you one question. Do you love your parents? Yes, we all love our parents and we should always be ready to help our parents in any way and we should respect and obey them. It is the story of thoughtful and loving son who looked after his parents. It is the story of thoughtful and loving son who looked after his parents. His dedication and thoughtfulness was rewarded by the God and later by the king when he heard about the incident. So, without any delay, let's start. Before explaining the chapter, I would like to introduce you the main characters of the story. Firstly, we have Taro, who is a young, kind-hearted, poor, obeying child of his parents. Who is a young, kind-hearted, poor, obeying child of his parents. Then we have Taro's parents who are quite old. Then we have the villagers who are very being towards Taro. And lastly we have the emperor who is a nice and just king. Now we are aware of all the important characters. So let's begin a story. Let's see the outline of the story. There was a young woodcutter named Taro. What was the name of the woodcutter? The name of the woodcutter was Taro. He lived with his parents on a lonely hillside. Taro lived with his parents on a lonely hillside. He earned only a small amount of money from his work. Although he worked very hard, he earned only a small amount of money. This made him sad because he wanted to make life better for his parents. So this made Taro sad because Taro wanted to make life better for his parents. One day it was very cold. Taro's father said, "I wish I had a cup of sake." Taro's father wished that he wanted a cup of sake. Sake was the popular and costly Japanese drink. So Taro's father wanted a cup of sake. This made Taro sadder than ever. For the sake was very expensive. However, next morning, he got up earlier than usual and made for the forest. So Taro, next morning he woke up earlier and went to the forest. He kept on chopping the wood for a long time. His mouth was dry and he felt thirsty, but he went on chopping the wood. His mouth was dry and he felt thirsty, but he went on chopping the wood because he wanted to earn more money to buy sake for his father. Suddenly, a sound of water falling somewhere nearly made Taro stop his work. He had never seen or heard of rushing water nearby. Before that, he had never seen or heard the rushing water in that area. He was very thirsty. But he was very thirsty. He ran in the direction of the sound. He ran in the direction of the sound. Taro saw a small, beautiful waterfall. Taro saw a small, beautiful waterfall. He drank the liquid. He drank the liquid. But to his surprise, it was not water but sake. But to his surprise, the water tasted like a sake. Taro had a pitcher with him. Taro had a pitcher with him. He filled it with delicious liquid and hurried home. He filled it with delicious liquid and hurried home. The old man was delighted with the liquid. The old man was delighted with the liquid. Delighted means happy. He took just one swallow. He took the sake just one swallow. This stopped his shivering and he began to dance. So that one swallow sake stopped shivering and the old man began to dance. This was his way to show his happiness. This was his way to show his happiness. That day they had a visitor from the village. That day they had a visitor from the village who was offered sake. So Taro gave sake to the villager. Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall. And also Taro told about the magic waterfall to the visitor. So the story spread. Other villagers came to Taro's house. So the visitor spread the story to the other villagers. So all the villagers came to Taro's house. And within half an hour, the pitcher was empty. So Taro gave sake to all the villagers. Next morning, much before Taro, all the villagers had reached the magic waterfall. So next morning before Taro, all the villagers reached the magic waterfall. However, they became angry. When they tasted the liquid, the villagers tasted the liquid. It was nothing but cold water. So when the villagers tasted that liquid, it was a cold water. They were very angry and wanted to drown Taro, who they thought had cheated them. So the villagers were angry because they thought that Taro cheated them. So they wanted to kill the Taro. Taro hid himself in the forest. So Taro hid himself in the forest. When they had gone, he tasted the liquid himself. When all the villagers had gone, again Taro went near the waterfall and tasted the liquid himself. It was the same fine sake. So it was the same fine sake. It was now clear. It was now clear that the magic waterfall gave sake only to Taro. So what the magic waterfall gave? Magic waterfall gave sake only to Taro. To all others, it gave only water. To all other villagers, the magic waterfall gave only ordinary water. But for Taro, the waterfall gave sake. Obviously, God was kind to Taro because he was a thoughtful son. So God was kind to Taro because Taro was a thoughtful and loving son. The story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the emperor. He sent for Taro and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold. So the emperor gave 20 pieces of gold to Taro. Then he named the most beautiful fountain of the city after Taro. And he named the most beautiful fountain of the city after Taro. This was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. The emperor said that this was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. Let's see this beautiful story in detail. Taro's reward. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. All day long he chopped wood in the forest. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. This made him sad, for he was a thoughtful son and wanted to give his old parents everything they needed. So, this paragraph tells us that Taro was a young woodcutter who used to live on a lonely hillside with his parents. He loved his parents very much and wanted to give them everything they needed, and used to chop wood in the forest to earn his livelihood. Though he worked very hard but couldn't earn enough to give his parents everything they needed. This made him very sad. So, Taro was a young woodcutter, used to live on a lonely hillside with his parents. Although he worked very hard, he earned a little amount of money. Second paragraph. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of their hut, a strong wind began to blow. It whistled through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, "I wish I had a cup of sake. It would warm me and do my old heart good." In this paragraph, the phrase "whistled through" means passed through with a whistling sound. Whistled through means passed through with a whistling sound. Cracks, narrow gaps or openings. Cracks, narrow gaps or openings. Sake, a popular Japanese drink. Sake, a popular Japanese drink. Expensive, costly. Expensive, costly. So, one evening, a cold, strong wind started blowing, and that cold wind passed through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. So, what happened one day? One evening, a cold, strong wind started blowing, and that cold wind passed through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Taro's old father wished for the hot cup of sake. So, Taro's old father wished for the hot cup of sake. Third para. This made Taro sadder than ever. This made Taro sadder than ever, for the heartwarming drink called sake was very expensive. How do I earn more money? He asked himself. How do I get a little sake for my poor old father? He decided to work harder than before. So, here heartwarming means seeming to be something positive and good, and therefore causing feelings of pleasure and happiness. So, heartwarming means seeming to be something positive and good, and therefore causing feelings of pleasure and happiness. So, after listening to the wish of his father, Taro became very sad because he couldn't afford the drink as it was quite expensive. Why Taro was sad? Because he couldn't afford the drink as it was quite expensive. So, he decided to work harder and earn more money to fulfill his father's wish. So, what Taro decided? Taro decided to work harder and earn more money to fulfill his father's wish. Fourth paragraph. Next morning, Taro jumped out of bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. He chopped and cut as the sun climbed, and soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. His mouth was dry and his face was wet with sweat. My poor old father, he thought, if only he was as warm as I. and with that he began to chop even faster, thinking of the extra money he must earn to buy the sake to warm the old man's bones. So here in this paragraph, the phrase made his way to means went to. Made his way to means went to. So the next morning, Taro jumped out of his bed earlier, that is fixed time, and went to the forest to cut wood. And he kept on chopping and cutting the wood. Soon the sun climbed, and he felt so warm that he had to take off his jacket. The sun climbed and he felt so warm, so he had to take off his jacket. He was feeling thirsty. He was feeling thirsty and his face was wet with sweat. And that time he was thinking of his father. At that time Taro was thinking of his father. He wished that his father could also feel that warmth. So he wished that his father could also feel that warmth which he was feeling at that time. Which he was feeling at that time. His father could also feel that warmth. And this thought reminded him that he had to work harder. So that thought reminded Taro to work harder, to earn extra money to buy the sake. Then suddenly Taro stopped chopping. What was that sound he heard? Could it possibly be rushing water? Taro could not remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing stream in that part of the forest. He was thirsty. The axe dropped out of his hands and he ran in the direction of the sound. So, this paragraph tells us that while Taro was cutting wood in the forest, he heard the sound of rushing water and he was totally surprised to hear that sound because he couldn't remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing river in that part of the forest, and he was also very thirsty. So the axe fell out of his hands and he ran in the direction of that sound. Sixth paragraph. Taro saw a beautiful little waterfall hidden behind a rock. Kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hands and put it to his lips. Was it water or was it sake? He tasted it again and again, and always it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. Here in this paragraph, the phrase cupped a little in his hands means took some water in his hands. Cupped a little in his hands, took some water in his hands. Delicious, very tasty. Delicious, very tasty. Picture a pot usually made of mud. Picture a pot usually made of mud. So, when Taro reached the place from where that sound coming from, he saw a beautiful waterfall hidden behind a rock. So, Taro saw a beautiful waterfall hidden behind a rock. Because he was thirsty, he knelt at a place, cupped a little in his hands and drank that water. So, he was very thirsty, so he knelt at a place, cupped a little in his hands and drank that water. But he was totally surprised because that water tasted like sake. Because that water tasted like sake. And he drank it again and again. He drank it again and again. But every time he drank it, it tasted like the delicious sake instead of plain cold water. So he tasted again and again, but it tasted like a delicious sake instead of plain cold water. Seventh para. Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. The old man was delighted with the sake. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. Here, hurried means done in a hurry. Hurried means done in a hurry. Delighted, happy. Delighted, happy. So, Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with the delicious sake and quickly went home. So, Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with the delicious sake and quickly went home. He offered the delicious sake to his father. He gave the delicious sake to his father. And his father was happy. His father was happy with the sake. And after consuming that sake, his father stopped shivering and danced a little in the middle of the floor to show his happiness. So, after consuming the sake, his father stopped shivering and danced a little in the middle of the floor to show his happiness. 8th paragraph. That afternoon, a neighbor stopped by for a visit. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the sake. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. Then Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall. Thanking them for the delicious drink, she left in a hurry. By nightfall, she had spread the story throughout the whole village. Greedily means as if desiring more and more. Greedily as if desiring more and more. So that afternoon, neighbor came to Taro's house. Taro's father offered her a cup of that delicious sake, and Taro told her the story of that magic waterfall. And by the onset of night, she spread the story of the magic waterfall throughout the village. So that afternoon, neighbor came to Taro's house. Taro's father offered her a cup of that delicious sake, and Taro told her the story of that magic waterfall. And by the onset of night, she spread the story of the magic waterfall throughout the village. 9th one. That evening, there was a long procession of visitors to the woodcutter's house. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the sake. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty. So here, procession means the act of moving forward. The act of moving forward. So this paragraph tells us that after hearing the story of the waterfall, every man from that village came to Taro's house to taste the delicious sake, and within an hour the pitcher of that delicious sake was empty. So this paragraph tells us that after hearing the story of the waterfall, every man from that village came to Taro's house to taste the delicious sake, and within an hour the pitcher of that delicious sake was empty. 10th paragraph. Next morning, Taro started for work even earlier than the morning before. He carried with him the largest pitcher he owned, for he intended, that means planned, first of all to go to the waterfall. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise all his neighbors there. They were carrying pitchers, jars, buckets, anything they could find to hold the magic sake. Then one villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. He drank again and then shouted angrily, "Water, nothing but water." Others also tried, but there was no sake, only cold water. So what happened next morning? Next morning, Taro started for his work earlier than the last morning, and he carried with him the largest pitcher to fill with the sake. So Taro carried largest pitcher to fill the sake. But when he reached the magic waterfall, So before he reached the waterfall, he was totally surprised to see all his neighbors there. So all the neighbors were in the waterfall there, and all the neighbors carried anything they could find. So all the neighbors carried anything they could find to hold the magic sake. Then one villager knelt and drank that water. So what one villager did? One villager knelt and drank that water from the magic fall. But when he tasted the water, he found it that just plain water. So that was not sake, that was only a plain water and nothing else. So this made him very angry. So this made the villager very angry. Even other people also tried. But they all also found to be a cold plain water. 11th para. We have been tricked, shouted the villagers. Where is Taro? Let us drown him in this waterfall. But Taro had been wise enough to slip behind a rock when he saw how things were going. He was nowhere to be found. Tricked means deceived. Deceived. So, after drinking water from the magic waterfall, every villager felt that it was not the sake. It was just plain cold water. So, they felt they had been tricked and cheated by Taro. So, they decided to drown Taro in the same waterfall. They wanted to kill Taro, but Taro was very intelligent. The moment he felt that the villager will now kill him, he just slipped behind the rock and he was nowhere to be found. So, after drinking water from that magic waterfall, every villager felt that it was not the sake, it was just plain cold water. So, they thought that Taro had cheated them. 12th paragraph. Muttering their anger and disappointment, the villagers left the place one by one. Taro came out from his hiding place. Was it true? He wondered. Was the sake a dream? Once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips. It was the same fine sake. To the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious sake. To everyone else, it gave only cold water. So the magic waterfall gave delicious sake to Taro, others only cold water. Here, muttering means speaking unclearly. So, as the villagers were looking for Taro because they wanted to kill him, because they felt that they had been tricked and deceived by Taro. But Taro was hiding behind the rock. So after some time, the villagers left the place. And when they left the place, Taro came out and once again he tasted the water. And to his surprise, the waterfall gave him the sake. But the same waterfall gave villagers the plain cold water. So after the villagers went from the place, Taro came there and tasted a water. To his surprise, it was a sake. It tasted like a sake. But for the villagers, it tasted like only a plain cold water. So Taro was totally surprised. So, do you know that why that magic waterfall gave Taro sake and other villagers just plain water? Yes, because Taro was very thoughtful and loving son, and he worked very hard to fulfill his father's wish, and also he worked very hard to make their parents happy. So that sake from the waterfall was a kind of reward given by the Mother Earth to Taro for his dedication, hard work, thoughtfulness and sincerity. So Mother Earth rewarded Taro by giving sake. 13th paragraph. The story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. He sent for means called. He sent for the young woodcutter and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. Then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taro. This said the emperor was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. So the emperor of Japan got to know about the story of Taro and the magic waterfall, and he rewarded Taro with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. Then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taro, and this was done to encourage all children to obey, honor and respect their parents. So the emperor of Japan rewarded Taro with 20 pieces of gold and named a most beautiful fountain in the city after Taro. So this was done to encourage all children to obey, honor and respect their parents. So this lesson conveys the message that one should always work hard to fulfill the dreams and wishes of one's parents. It is necessary for a child to be obedient and thoughtful towards his or her parents. And you know what? With hard work, one can get whatever he wants, and even nature helps that person with miracle. Just like nature helped Taro in fulfilling his father's wish. So students, this was the story Taro's Reward. I hope you understood and liked it. This is all for today, and we'll meet once again in a new video with a new topic. Till then, take care. Thank you.